The Walker safety car out on the circuit. The field not too far in behind them as we get set for race 3 in the 4th round of the Shell Championship Series here at Eastern Creek. A bumper crowd here, 22,650 fans. That is a new record for a V8 supercar round here at Eastern Creek. The Rat and Mark Scape on row 1, Lowndes and Ingle row 2, Glenn Seaton and John Bow on row 3. Then it's Craig Baird and Tony Longhurst on row 4.
Ford fans plenty to cheer about this weekend. Stephen Richards alongside Crompton, Murphy and Jones. Good effort from Brad Jones. Paul Morris and Jason Bargwanna. Barg's fighting through from the back of the grid, made up 22 positions. How about that? Stephen Ellery and Stephen Johnson in 16.
You go further back, McConville and Kelly, Mick Donoghue and Mark Larkham, Johnny Faulkner from row 11 alongside the man making his debut in the series, Greg Ritter, Formula Ford champion, Paul Wheel and Dougal McDougall on row 12.
Trevor Ashby and Chris Smurden out of row 13. Mark Poole and Peter Dulman out of 14. Cameron McLean and Rodney Forbes out of 15. Out of 16, Alan Heath and Garth Tander after that collision with Lowndes. He broke the steering rack. He's going to start way down the back.
I tell you what's all important. This one is the start, because Radisic's start in the first one was absolutely brilliant. And going to be interesting to see what Al Russell does on the second row of the grid. He's a bit desperate now, I think.
And Radisic was very clever the way he drove that race too, because the car's got plenty of horsepower, and he just held them in through the corners and then nailed them on the straights. Here's who was out so far: Anthony Tratt, car 75, Steve Reed, and Matthew Coleman deputising for Danny Osborne, car 22. So 3 retirements today. It's been tough work out there.
So some practice for Garth Tander from the rear of the grid. Practice for that second race coming up when we head to Canberra on the June long weekend for the GMC 400. The second race, the 25-lapper, is a rear or reverse grid situation. Russell Ingle on the second row of the grid. What can he do? Revs rise in the V8s. A win to Ford and a win to Holden. Who will do it in race 3 here today? Radisic sits on pole alongside Sky.
Oh, Radisic, great start.
Look at Ingle. Lowndes. There's been contact between those two, but Ingle's gotten through there. Lowndes, I think, will have the better run into turn 1, and Radisic has already cleared out of there. Look at these two side by side, the Castrol Commodore and the Mobile Commodore. Lowndes will have the race. There's been a spinner. Bargwanna's involved there. That's a big one.
Major one.
Now it looks like Thomas Mazira's involved in that as well. We'll get a closer shot. That is Jason Bargwanna, Stephen Ellery.
Well, Ellery copped a fine after that contact with Steve Reed earlier on, so he hasn't had a good day. This is the lead, but we may have a red flag situation if they don't get those wrecks cleared away. Paul Radisic, though, making a brilliant start in Heat 3. And Russell Ingle absolutely fired out of the second row to get into third position. Skate right over the edge of the asphalt. Drops the wheels onto the dirt. He wants to get past this Shell Ford as fast as possible. So Craig Lowndes right up behind the Shell Falcon. Mark Skate, you see earlier on, just dropping a wheel off the asphalt. Lowndes doing it too. Here's the points after 2 heats of round 4. Skate leading at the moment, Radisic behind. But if Radisic wins this one and Skate comes seconds, Radisic will win the day on countback. So an important day for Ford. Can Radisic stand on the top level of the podium this afternoon? Craig Lowndes is going to make sure he does it.
I'm just looking at the starter. It looks like there's something going on, a bit of talking on the starter's
Look at this.
Look at this, yep. Craig Lowndes having a look. Radisic shuts the door as they come down the front straight. The crowd are on their feet. A Ford leads from a Holden. Radisic from Lowndes. Then it's Russell Ingle in 3rd place. And Mark Scape in 4th as they sweep through turn 1 for the second time. Look at the mess.
Yeah, look, that really upset balance of Radisic's car there.
260 kilometres an hour on the approach to turn 1. Then they get hard on the brakes down through turn 2. Radisic defending strongly from Lowndes. Gets really sideways under power coming out of turn 2. Keep in mind these guys are on second-hand tyres. This is looking out the back of Paul Radisic's car, Baz.
Yeah, it's Scafey there, you see. That's look at Ingle. I thought Ingle was going to go into Lowndes. Oh, he did actually touch him. I thought he did, but Mason, yeah, it's Scafey. I don't know what he did. He just bad luck job. Let's have a look here. Just see what you can. Oh boy, that looked like Stephen Ellery touched the back of Jason Bargwanna. Was the start of it, and then
Paul Wheel taking evasive action.
Yeah.
Todd Kelly, all of them. Look,
amazing that there wasn't more people who. Oh, look at this.
Have a look at this from another angle.
Oh, touch there.
Here we are. Now, all mayhem breaks loose here. Look at the cars going every which direction.
It's amazing they weren't more involved in there. They were more stopped, to put it that way.
So the Rat is on the attack at Eastern Creek this afternoon. Winner of Heat 2. Brilliant start. Heat 3. He's got Craig Lowndes boxed in behind him. Important round for the reigning champion. He needs points here this afternoon.
Look at
how
Lowndes.
he gets.
Lowndes is pumped up now, sideways at the exit of turn 12. He is really having a go. Craig Lowndes, the defending champion, down the front straight they come, but that has cost him on the exit of turn 12.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen Lowndes try as hard as this. He's really, really tried hard.
Well, the thing is, Dick Johnson cars, they're famous for their horsepower. Radicic is really using that to advantage, particularly when he just comes out of turn 12 onto the main straight. That first 150, 200 metres, he's just got a little bit more squirt in the Commodore, and he uses that to maximum advantage. That's how he's holding him in.
He's pretty quick through this section, though. If you look at Radicic here, across the top of this, and then into the right-hander, he was really quick.
Oh, look down the inside by Lowndes, filling the mirrors of the Shell 18 Ford. Stephen Ellery, we hear from the pits, has retired after that altercation with Jason Bargwanna, so it's been a bad day for the Super Chief Autos team.
Well, these two continue to battle away around the back of Corporate Hill. A great shot as we go up high from the Goodyear blimp. You can see Lowndes all over the back of the Shell Helix Ford, a Ford leading from a Holden, and Russell Ingall sits in third place, the enforcer. What a day he's had, and hoping for a mistake from either of these two to try and move forward. Lowndes an outside run, possibly trying to snap back, a touch, yep. Possibly trying to switch back on him on the exit of turn 9. He can't do it, and again, the Ford gets the power to the ground nicely.
Yeah, it does. Just, you can see there, you see all the black smoke coming out of it. They've got to run it about as rich as she'll go as they can... Oh, yes!
Oh, there's been contact! Radicic is gone!
Wow.
Radicic is gone!
I tell you, this is a very un-Lowndes-like day to me. It's, that says it all.
Well, under the driver etiquette rules, you've got to be alongside the B pillar, but there's a challenge now. Russell Ingall takes advantage of that. Coming together to shoot through to the lead. Here from the pits, they're telling Paul to try and keep going, but I think he might have backed it
Now,
out. Sandtrap.
Skate's coming for a run here too, Mark, and so Seaton down into turn 2. Look at Lowndes trying to fight back past Ingall.
Well, there's Paul Radicic getting back into the action, but the officials are going to looking very closely at
there's no doubt about that.
How far Craig Lowndes was under Paul Radicic. Let's have a look at this. He's got to be alongside the B pillar.
Right.
For this to be considered Lowndes' corner. Let's have a look. Oh, wow.
Well, the problem is, though, Mark, there's no, there was no way that Radicic couldn't turn into the corner. He was turning in. He was committed. And there's nothing really you can do about it.
Well, a very disappointed Dick Johnson. The highest of highs, the lowest of lows. The winning Heat 2, yeah, incredible.
Garth Tander, for those of you following the progress of our championship leader coming into this round, has moved up to 20th from 33rd spot on the grid. But now, after what's been a torrid year for the enforcer, he is leading the pack. 3 Holdens up in front. Ingall tucked in behind him, the Holden Racing Team duo. Lowndes ahead of teammate Scaife, and then Glenn Seaton having a sniff at things. Oh, look at Lowndes sideways. Through turn 12, Scaife's got him. Mark Scaife's got him. There'll be a drag race between these two, but you can forget it. Seaton's coming for the run too. 3 wide, the crowd stand on their feet here at Eastern Creek as Seaton gets through on Lowndes. Lowndes has gone from 2nd place to 4th in the blink of an eye. Scaife's through to 2nd place now. Russell leads. Lowndes has gone back to 4th place because Seaton is up to 3rd. Look at Longhurst now. John Bow coming to the right, and so too Craig Baird.
Oh, what a race. I don't know whether Lowndes must have some problem because he's just going backwards at a rapid rate of knots.
Yeah, he just had a big tank slapper coming through that corner, and he's just been slowing right down. He's still in the queue, but he's lost a ton of positions. Wonder if that might have been as a result of that contact with Paul Radicic. We won't know, but he's really struggling. He's gone right back into the order. So this puts Mark Scaife in a very strong championship position now. He's only got Russell Ingall up ahead of him. He's currently sitting 2nd in points behind Garth Tander. Tander's way down the order. This could be a very crucial day in this championship for Mark Scaife.
Wow, what a day so far. What looked like a processional opening race has been followed by a sensational second one, which Radicic won. And we're only 5 laps into this one, and it's looking like an absolute ripper. You're right, with Glenn Seaton in 4th place. This is the Ford car camera.
That's the great thing about having an open face helmet. You can see all the expressions, everything going on in the head of Glenn Seaton.
It just cracks me up when I look at Glenn when he's chewing his straw.
there. He really talks his way around the track too. Quite often you catch him on the in-car camera, he's going, come on, come on, come on.
Oh, it looks smoke. What was that?
Oh, I think it's just... he's all right, he's got his head down. Seen the cars blow a fair bit of smoke when they're... Something... Be clear and simple. On-board telemetry with Glenn Seaton. Road speed on the left of your screen, engine revolutions on the right.
It's really interesting to see Glenn's face going into that fast left-hander after the start finish. That is a very, very quick corner, and it's enough to get anybody's attention.
Up to third, then bang, fourth. He just shift up to fourth so that he's not stuck trying to shift gears right in the middle of that turn. You can see the Baz there, the puffs of smoke from that engine as he shifts gears. Just something to do with the engine management program they're running in that engine. As the car's looking strong here at Eastern Creek this afternoon. He's had a good, consistent run all day. Now he finds himself
Romano
in third position. So, as we saw at Adelaide, a rebirth for FTR. Glenn Seaton set on this new Bridgestone control tyre. His car responded very well to it, and he's continued that form at Eastern Creek this afternoon, right in there in the battle for the lead.
Hasn't been the weekend for the Optus Commodores. We saw before the start of this race that Steve Reed was out with engine problems. Now we hear from the pits that his teammate Trevor Ashby is also out of this one after some sort of altercation with Rodney Forbes. Back at the front, you watch Seaton sitting in third place. Escape ahead of him, and Russell Ingall leading the way in the Castrol Commodore.
Yeah, there's a lot of smoke coming out of Seaton's car. It just really, not only the sort of burnt fuel and that, but it's can't make out what's going on there. Get another shot of it, you see.
As Seaton looks up in his mirrors, that's looking out the back of the FTR Falcon. Tony Longhurst in third position. John in fourth position, I should say, behind third. John Bower in fifth. Craig Baird in sixth. Craig Lowndes in seventh. Neil Crompton in eighth. Stephen Richards in ninth. And Greg Murphy in 10th, so the two Kmart Commodores in the top 10.
Yeah, good to see them coming good towards the end of the day. Two to keep an eye out for as well. Stone Brothers Racing. Tony Longhurst in fourth place. Craig Baird now up to sixth. We were talking to Ross Stone the other day, and he was saying that they were looking for good things here, and it's looking good for them at the moment. Ingall leads the way from Skate, Seaton, Tony Longhurst, John Bower, Craig Baird. Craig Lowndes has slipped to 7th place, then it's Crompton. Richards and Murphy doing very well, rounding out your top 10. Trust you're enjoying all the action. Stay with us. This race is a ripper. On track, temperature around 35 degrees, so it's hot here at the creek, and it's hot on the track as well. Russell Ingall leads the way in the Castrol Commodore. From Mark Scape, we are on lap 8 of 13 in the third and final race of the fourth round of the Shell Championship Series. And what a day it's been. If
Russell can pull this off, it'll be a popular win. No doubt about that.
Well, he certainly needs a boost in his points. He's currently 11th in the championship standings with only 194 points to Garth Tander's 422 coming into this round, so he's got a massive points deficit. Garth Tander, meanwhile, is up to 16th position. Our championship leader, he started from 33rd on the grid after that steering rack breakage after colliding with Craig Lowndes. So he's up to 16th, so every point vital as he climbs his way back toward the top.
Neil's up in 8th place, Neil Crompton, so we're pleased with that.
Ned Crompton there in 8th position. But that's a real disappointment seeing Radicic go out. It's making it a very exciting afternoon.
Hasn't been a good weekend for the Greenfield Mowers outfit either. Cameron McLean in pit lane there. As we watch Craig Lowndes, the defending champion, just ahead of Neil Crompton. Just saying before the break there about the performance of the Stones Brothers Racing outfit. Baird currently sits in 6th place. Top Kiwi at the moment as well. And, of course, just ahead of him 2 places, Tony Longhurst sits in 4th. Ross Stone was talking to us prior to this round, and he said they've taken a few radical moves. They've minimised the boys' media commitments this weekend and told them to really focus on the job. And the poor old girls, even the wives, have been told they've got to stay home. They've got to concentrate on racing this weekend.
The poor old girls, I'm sure they'd love to be called that. That's great. It's great so far for Longhurst. That's the closest it's been to the front for a long time.
So a very closely knit bunch, that leading quartet. That's 1.6 seconds. Back to John Bower. So Glenn Seaton, the highest place forward. Tony Longhurst, John Bower.
Oh, dear.
Not again.
Now, we need to have another look at that.
Wow.
I can't believe this.
Craig Lowndes has been involved in a few incidents today, hasn't he?
Wow, really?
That's the third collision he's been involved in.
There's damage to the front right there, Mark, or front left, I should say, on Baird's car, so that'll put him out, I'd say.
Gee, it's been a long time since you've seen Craig Lowndes involved in this many incidents, I've got to say.
Just said in the first, I haven't seen him drive so aggressively ever. You know, I really haven't. It's going to be interesting. I bet the old stewards are rubbing their hands in delight.
So Craig Lowndes a bit further back in the order knows it's a critical round. Let's have a look.
Watch. I don't think.
No,
I have to say I'm pretty sure there was no touch there.
Pretty sure.
Looked just like Craig lost the back end.
Yeah, it looked like Baird lost it, and unfortunately Craig was involved. But, geez, Craig's been... That's the third incident he's been involved in today. He's really been...
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure he didn't touch him there.
No, it didn't look like it. So he's really been in the wars. Plenty of pedal rubbing. Craig Baird out of the car. Very disappointed too, I'd say. 4 laps remaining for our race leader. Baird was running in 6th position. His strongest performance really since Phillip Island, the opening round. This will be a big lift for Russell Ingall, leading currently 11th in the point standings. His championship chase has taken a real battering so far. So any points he can get here is going to be very valuable to him later in the season.
Well, when you consider on the first practice, the first day, Mark, he was 25th. So he's done a lot of work, and it's obviously come up with the right answers.
Well, he was just saying how frustrating it was, because he said it's just checks the drive of the other cars coming out of the corners. There's only a car length in it, but he just can't find whatever it is in the chassis to make up that little deficit. Well, the car seems to be running pretty well now.
Fans of the Enforcer are going to be happy with this one. If he can pull it off and win this one, it'll be his first victory since he and Larry Perkins co-drove to the win at the Queensland 500 last year. So a long time between drinks for the Enforcer. And right now he leads the way from Scaife and Seaton. Incidentally, Russell Ingall, a big fan of the Darwin circuit, and that's where we're heading very, very soon for the next round of the championship, round 5. So looking forward to going north. And then how much interest is there for the GMC 400 in Canberra on the June long weekend? A lot of interest from both Melbourne and Sydney. People keen to travel up and down the eastern seaboard for that one. If you haven't already booked your accommodation, get in early.
Well, look at that. Garth Tander, 11th in the order. 3 laps remaining. Garth Tander is now almost inside the top 10. He started from 33rd on the grid. The championship leader is really fighting here this afternoon.
That's amazing. That's
incredible.
Oh, he's up in the 10th now.
Yep, 10th position for Tander. So after that rotten luck in heat 2, new steering rack attached, he's absolutely been charging.
Kmart Commodores as well, coming good towards the end of the day. Greg Murphy up to 7th now, the top Kiwi. And Stephen Richards in 9th, just ahead of Garth Tander. So we'll keep an eye on. There's the Murph. Brad Jones in behind him now. There's Stevie. There is Garth Tander.
That's amazing. That's a really good drive.
That is incredible.
Oh, it's Larry.
23 positions he's made up since the start. This is only a short sprint race. So the Valvoline Cummins car really flying, and this is good, mature driving from our championship leader.
There's not even a mark on the car.
Yeah, he's brilliant. He's very, very... You remember when he had that bit of a sort of a coming together at the Melbourne Grand Prix race a couple of years ago. He got a lot of shrapnel for that.
Well, he went through that real patch, didn't he? There was a series of crashes. The guy was labelled a whole heap of things for his driving style after winning the Formula 4 Championship and stepping up into V8 Supercars. And this year, and in particular last year, he really came of age. I think he came of age at this circuit, in fact. And now doing good things in race 3 today, a storming drive from the back of the grid and doing it cleanly.
If Mark Scaife stays where he is, and Tander can pick up 2 more positions, that'll make them equal on points. Can you imagine that going into Hidden Valley? Tander and Scaife tied on points. If Tander can pick up 2 more positions, 2 laps remaining, he's running out of time to do it. Oh, look down the inside.
Word through from the pits is that the Holden Racing team are talking to Mark Scaife, that is, to try and keep it cool in the run towards the finish. He currently sits in 2nd place, and they've told him to try and work on the bars inside the car, the anti-roll bars, to try and make sure they get the optimum setup out of the car and nurse those tyres all the way to the finish.
You look at Brad Jones's car. It's definitely... You see how much he pulled out of the Kmart car there?
Yeah, they have made some changes to that car since that crash, and Brad's been very happy with it. This is the best performance so far by this team.
It's actually nice to see him smiling again for a change.
Nice to see it the right way up as well, isn't it?
But they're doing this on merit. I mean, this is the battle for the top 10. They're in 8th position, fending off Stephen Richards and Garth Tander. So, oh, look at Tander up the inside of Stephen Richards. He's got it.
Perfect, yeah.
Oh, has he?
Oh, he's got a...
This is what Brad Jones is seeing out of his rearview mirror.
Stevie's not an easy customer to get by either.
So Tander ducks in behind. He's done such a good job getting up to where he is. It'd be terrible if he threw it away late in the race. Larry Perkins into the pits.
Wasn't that the extremes? Russell Ingall leading the way, and teammate Larry Perkins, problems in the pits. They will get the last lap board this time around as they come down the 1 kilometre long main straight. Russell Ingall has seen it. He's on his way home. Can the enforcer do it and take his first win of the 2000 season and his first win since the Queensland 500 last year? There'll be a lot of fans who'll be hoping for that.
Yeah, well, there's no doubt. It's, unless he outbreaks himself somewhere, he's got it in the bag, isn't it? It's great driver. It's nice to see him get a good result because they've been struggling.
Well, if he does bring it home, that'll be 3 different winners from the 3 heats here this afternoon. And first time in a long time, yeah.
Our statistician Nigel will be going into overdrive trying to work all that out.
I have to say the first race you thought, oh dear, well, we've had 2 bronze, haven't we, since then? Really good.
Good performance from Tony Longhurst in the Caltex Haviland car. He's up in 4th position. That'll be his best result too, driving for the second of the Stone Brothers Falcons. And there's the shot from the Goodyear blimp that's been over the track all day, giving us some wonderful pictures. And there's our race leader, Russell Ingall, coming through turn 9. Only 3 more turns to go on a straight before he can bring this one home. That'll be a huge relief for the enforcer. Had a terrible start to season 2000. Can he turn it around before we get to November?
A good result also for Tony Longhurst, who currently sits in 4th place, and Glenn Seaton 3rd in the FTR Falcon. If they finish the way they currently stand, the enforcer brings it onto the straight for the final time. He flashes the lights to the crowd. The resurgent Russell Ingall will take victory in race 3 here at Eastern Creek. Well done in the Castrol Commodore, and well done to the Larry Perkins Racing outfit. They would be delighted with that. Perkins Racing, there's Oscar and the boys. They worked very hard all weekend, and a mixed bag of results when you consider that poor old Larry's down in the pits with problems. Scapey in 2nd place, Glenn Seaton in 3rd, Tony Longhurst 4th, and John Bowe rounds out your top 5.
Yeah, Garth didn't make it past Brad Jones or Stephen Richards, but it's a good drive, amazing drive.
Well, that is the first time since Calder last year that we have had 3 different race winners at a round of the Shell Championship Series. Russell Ingall takes out the 3rd one from Scape, Seaton, Tony Longhurst, John Bowe, Neil Crompton, a great drive up into 6th. Brad Jones, well done, finishing in 9th place, and Mark Larkham in 11th.